Hi, it's me, Anya, and welcome back to Cozy Room Podcast. Hey guys, it's Artie. Welcome back to Cozy Room.
Womb, girl.
Womb, girl.
We all grew up differently. Some of us grew up with healthy engagement and encouragement from our parents and our family. Some of us grew up challenged in a negative way with people who thought, quote unquote, tough love was the only way to make sure you were well-rounded. But that's wrong. It's wrong. As a mother who saw various styles of parenting from my aunts, from my uncles, from friends of my mom with their kids, and I once was a little girl witnessing grown-ups not able to own their mistakes and apologize and gradually work up to a different level of discipline. I am happy to be a part of a generation that thinks therapy is self-care. I'm happy to be a part of a generation that allows children to have a voice, an opinion, allows discussion to be had. I am part of a generation that allows children and kids to be treated as human beings and not as objects that just do what I say, don't do as I do. And I want to talk about the fact that we as parents do not have to put down our kids to motivate them. We can pour in and confidently build them up through discussion, through guidance, through giving examples of self-discipline and talking out what is not understood in order to understand. Welcome to Cozy Room Podcast. Let's talk. Now, let's get into Cozy Room Podcast, okay? And if you would like to find more about the show, follow us on Instagram or Twitter, okay? Now, if you notice on Instagram, when you put in Cozy Room Podcast, 2 Instagram pages pop up. One was my old page that was hacked, and the one with the most current podcast cover is the newer one. Follow that one. I can't even get into my old pages. Sorry. So I have new table topic cards, and I'm going to share different clips of them that I did with Anya. Ari wasn't here at the time. She was at her dad's. So throughout the episodes, you will hear different clips of Anya and I asking each other questions from the family stack of questions that you can get at tabletopics.com. And if you would like to get 15% off, use the code ShanBePoddin, ChanBePoddin in all caps, and you can get 15% off your personal stackables of Table Topics questions that you pick on the website. Now, let's get into the Table Topics. All right.
My turn first?
Go.
What would be the best and worst things about having a twin?
Oh my God. I feel like I'm already 2 people. The best thing about having a twin is when I don't feel like it, she could. The worst thing about having a twin is me having more options than I feel like I have myself, and me trying to exercise the options of 3 people instead of 2. All right, my turn. Which new person would you like to have as a friend?
A geologist.
A what?
Geologist.
A geologist?
Yeah.
What do they do?
They study nature.
Geologist.
Yeah. They study nature and they discover new things. So that's why I like to dig a lot, because I like to find new rocks.
Okay, your turn.
Yeah. Oh God. Do you plan going to college some way? someday.
I already went to college. I hated 2 years and I like 2 years. I just can't tell you which two. My question: if you had to move, which part of the country would you want to move to?
Jamaica.
You a lie. How are you trying to move somewhere where you never been?
I want to go to Jamaica so I can see my grandma.
Girl, your grandma's dead. All right. Well, your grandma on the other side, but she's dying.
I only been to 2 countries. I like Canada. It's damn cold, but I like
Your turn.
What are the qualities you look for in friends?
Honesty, knowledgeable about something I don't know, and empathetic, and someone having integrity in what they do. All right. What's the best birthday party you can imagine?
Nothing. Getting a dog. Having a massive birthday cake. 3 layers of cake. Getting a bouncy house. Get a dog.
You already said that.
I know. Get a cat. Get a turtle. Get a fish.
Okay, I feel like this birthday's over. Next question. What's the story behind your name? My mom was reading a book while she was supposed to be focusing on pushing me out of her vagina. Next question.
At what age should children allowed to see a PG-13 movie?
I feel like 14.
Why?
14 is a good age because a lot of conversations should already be had about what they could possibly see in a movie. When are old things better than new things?
When are old things better than new things?
Yeah.
When new things, the old things have more something efficient in them, but when they make it new, they don't have that anymore.
I agree. I think old cars are better than new cars.
Huh?
All right. What bedtime would you pick if you could choose? Oh my God.
3 o'clock.
Seeing family that you haven't seen in a while should be a happy time, okay? It should be a time of joy, a time of getting updated on what's going on. You walking into a house or an apartment or a park and you seeing family that you haven't seen in a while, you don't want to hear, Lord, you look sick. You look maga. Why did you cut off your hair? Oh my God, you put on so much weight. Y'all not have nothing else to wear. And it's just, ooh, you instantly walk into like this nitpicking of other people's opinions. But you might be related to them or they might be a friend of the family. And it's just so annoying that it's like, why did I come? It's like, why am I here? Like, I don't feel loved. I don't feel missed. I feel like a whole bunch of people just picking on me. And it's the epitome of a Caribbean family. They will nitpick you to shreds after not seeing you for a long time. They will tug on your body parts. Like, oh my God, look at her stomach. Look at her titty. Look at her behind. Look at her legs. It's just like, oh my God, stop touching me. You can just say, hey, nice to see you, hug me, and then we can talk. But to instantly walk into like this pit of nitpicking is so hard. So imagine being a kid and So many people have an opinion of what you do with your hair. So many people have an opinion of what your skin looks like. So many people have an opinion of what you chose to wear, what you're doing in school. If you did something bad in school, you got to hear it 15 times from 15 different people of what they think about what you're doing in school. If you act up or you have like a bad day, you got to hear it 15 times. And that's how it is being brought up into a Caribbean household. Whenever someone likes something, it's like it's hard for them to say, oh, I like it, or I'm proud of you. And to me, you have to learn how to speak good into people. Because if you're always nitpicking what the bad is, how will they know how to treat other people with goodness or give compliments? I don't want to do that with my daughters. I want to love on them. I want them to feel like I loved on them. And when my kids have doubts, I don't want to make them feel worse. If my child isn't great academically, I want to work on what we can. And if I need to hire a tutor, I want to hire a tutor. I'm not a mean kid at school that lives in the home that my child is supposed to be comfortable in. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person who has kids that assumes the worst about their kids and do not allow them to explain why the situation got to the heights that it got to. There's a reason why kids don't do great in school. There's a reason why kids don't like a certain subject. There's a reason why a child may not want to ride the bus or walk home a certain way. And I think it's up for us to give space for that conversation to be had. There's a reason why, your child doesn't want to stay at your friend's house that you keep dropping them off at all the time. Listen, there's a reason why your child doesn't want to stay home, with their older sibling or whatever person you leave them with that they're not comfortable with. And you have to listen, because a lot of things when you're young go unnoticed and not talked about, and it becomes this elephant in the room. And then you grow up and you become an adult with trauma. And then that trauma doesn't get dealt with. And then you become an adult that's trying to fit in pieces of life, not dealing with that trauma, but that trauma keeps coming up. That trauma keeps blocking you from your next level. And to me, I'm not trying to have none of that with my kids. Okay? I do not want to tear down my children's confidence. I do not want to be the adult in the home where my child is avoiding coming home and coming home as late as they can to avoid people in the house. I don't want to have the house where I worked all day and I pull up in my driveway and I spend an hour in my car because I need peace. Like, my home needs to be peaceful for everybody. My home needs to be somewhere where anything can be talked about. My home should be somewhere where my kids feel safe. People that are invited in my home feel safe. They feel wanted. You know what I'm saying? And so I really feel like you do not have to talk down to your kids to motivate them. You can find different ways to motivate them by spending the time with them, by building a foundation of love, by learning with them, compliment them on a genuine basis, be in their zone, share their silence. Do not talk down to your kids. It doesn't help them. Sometimes the way that you talk down to your kids is how they talk down to themselves in your absence. Okay? Let your children know that you are available. Don't catch an attitude when they need to talk to you. Allow them to know that you made mistakes too, that you didn't just randomly get this house, that you didn't just randomly figure it out, that, it wasn't all given to you. The way that you pay bills and how you make it work every month is not because you're rich. It's because you prioritize, you sacrifice. You call some people up and say, hey, can I make a payment arrangement? Instead of paid on the 18th, can I pay it on the 24th? You have deadlines. The more clarity your children have, and I'm not saying they need to know every little bit of how you adult, but they need to know that this stuff is not easy. I make it look easy because I am in the position of a leader. You know what I'm saying? Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this show. The show is going to come back. I just wanted to let you guys know that there is a merch shop if you want to get some merch from Cozy Womb Podcast and support the podcast, because everything helps me get webcam, me get merch ideas, me market the show, and I just appreciate it. And I love to see people are out and about having a sticker of Cozy Womb or wearing a t-shirt or a hoodie or a jacket. They do have jackets on there and they're real cute. I bought me one. Go to the Cozy Womb shop with Teespring, or you can support by going to shanbpodden.com and purchasing a book for podcasting or a book for someone in your family that I wrote. I appreciate it all. And if you would just like to donate to Red Circle, you can. The link is in the show notes. Now back to the show. You are in the position of a child. I don't want you ever to walk around here and be in your child space worrying about adult decisions, adult problems. That's why I'm here. There's a lot of children in society going to elementary school, going to middle school, going to high school, and dealing with problems most 30-year-olds have yet to have. And you expect them to excel academically. You expect them to have great social skills. And it's just not going to happen. Not until you take something off their plate that they should not be dealing with. And so the way that I help is by motivating my kids a different way. Allowing them to see me make mistakes. Allowing them to hear me apologize. Picking up on signs of depression in children. Understanding their lingo of how they talk to each other. Talking to my kids. Overhearing them talk to their friends or to each other. Going out to eat. Teaching them how to order, allowing them to order for themselves, teaching them how to be self-aware, how to not play in a parking lot, what information to never give a stranger, even if you feel like you kind of know them a little bit. I explained to them before we get out this truck and we go to this park, nobody here is your friend. These are just people that happen to be at the same place you are. You know what I'm saying? Some adults, you got to say that too, but I'm just saying, like, I'm always finding little pockets of game that I can give my kids on how to be better in life, how to be a better person, how to be a better friend, how to be a better sister, how to be a better individual, how to think smarter, how to be more efficient with their time. And I feel like parents who don't teach in small pockets like that, they leave their child to fall into gaps in life of problems. And I don't want to do that. Okay, so a lot of the stuff that I do as a parent is really preventative. You know? I ask them what they like to watch. If I don't understand something that they're watching, I watch it a little bit and I ask them what about it they like. And I always keep in mind that kids need boundaries. Just because we do this sometimes doesn't mean we got to come back here tomorrow. Just because I can today doesn't mean I can next week. Just because I'm off today doesn't mean you're not going to school. It's my off day, not yours. Okay? And always remember that your children are not you. The way that you wanted a parent to be for you as a child may not be how your child wants that. And there's no such thing as a perfect parent. So please talk to your kids and see what you need to do more of, what you can do less of, what they need from you that they're not getting, what they would like to know, what they don't like about what you're currently doing, what they do love about what you currently like. You do this at work. Like they always have like a 3 or 6 months check-in, let's review X, Y, and Z. Let me tell you how you're doing. Let me tell you how your numbers looking. Same thing. Every relationship needs an evaluation of where we headed. Do I like where it's going? Has something been an issue for 3 months? I've been feeling this type of way for X and Y, Z time. Like, really start treating your children in a way where by the time they get out here in society and have to do more without you, they're ready. They're comfortable. But if you try to raise your children in this bubble, like everything's great, every day's great, and you over here struggling and trying to keep your head afloat, you're setting them up to reveal a lie that you helped create. Okay? There are things out here in this world that you're not going to like. There are people out here in this world that are not good for your kids. And there are people out here in this world that will help your children tremendously. Your job is to prepare them for what to look for, how to move, how to act, how to be self-aware, how to protect themselves, how to avoid certain things, just to be ready. Like, if I don't prepare my children to be ready, then I didn't do what I needed to do. And me preparing my children to be ready will never be by me talking down to them to make them feel like, oh, you need to work harder. This is not good enough. This is okay, but you should have been doing this from, 2 years ago, Well, I see that you did that. Well, look at that kid over there. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And you shouldn't either. That is not how you motivate children. Talk to your kids and find out where your loopholes are in your parenting, because they're there. My name is Shan. This is Cozy Moon Podcast. I appreciate every listen. I appreciate every review that you leave on anywhere that allows you to leave reviews. We are stepping into spring, summer. My kids have spring break all week. I'm so happy I don't have to get up at 5:30. And I just want it to be safe. I want you to be safe. I want you to pay attention to what your kids are doing online, what they're clicking on computers, who they're talking to. I want you to read. I want you to pay attention to these social media platforms. And I want you to pay attention to your child's emotional state. Okay? Thank you. Peace. Bye.
Bye.